The interrogation chamber filled with the scent of ozone and fear. Commander Thexerol of the Corvathian Defense Academy stood before 73 cadets from 18 different species, her forearms crossed in practiced authority. Behind the reinforced observation glass, someone watched, though Thexerol couldn't see through the reflective surface. The human sat in the front row, small and unremarkable among the towering Vrex warriors and the crystalline Shardkin. His name was Marcus Webb, and he'd scored average on every assessment except one, adaptive combat theory. There, his scores had triggered 3 separate review protocols. Today's scenario, Thexerol announced, her voice carrying the weight of 300 combat tours, involves a Krell Predator-class assault trooper, 4 meters tall. Exoskeletal plating rated for small arms fire, reflexes 8 times baseline humanoid standard, mandibles capable of shearing through reinforced steel. She activated the holographic display. The Krell materialized in the center of the room, a nightmare of chitinous armor and bladed limbs. Several cadets shifted uncomfortably. The Krell had dominated the outer territories for 2 centuries before the Alliance finally pushed them back. You're alone, unarmed. The Predator has you cornered. How do you disable it? A Vrex cadet raised his massive claw. Strike the joint clusters at the thorax connection. Temporary paralysis, 15 to 20 seconds. Adequate, Thexerol said. Next? A Shardkin chimed her crystalline response. Sonic disruption targeting their sensory antennae. Disorientation allows for escape. Functional. Thexerol's eyes swept the room. Other options? The cadets offered variations. Environmental hazards, tactical retreats, improvisational weapons, all followed standard doctrine. All assumed survival meant escape or temporary incapacitation. Thexerol noted each response with mechanical efficiency, her secondary arms recording data on her tactical slate. The human hadn't moved. His eyes remained fixed on the holographic Krell, studying it with an intensity that made Thexerol's combat instincts whisper warnings she didn't yet understand. Cadet Webb. Her voice cut through the discussion. You haven't contributed. Marcus looked up. His face carried no expression, no fear, no bravado. Just calculation. You asked how to disable it, Instructor. I did. You didn't specify parameters. Thexerol's mandibles clicked softly. A gesture of interest. Explain. Disable temporarily or permanently? His voice was quiet, almost conversational. Several cadets turned to stare. The question hung in the air like a blade. Behind the observation glass, the watcher leaned forward, though Marcus couldn't know this. Couldn't know that Her Radiance, Queen Shivara of the Corvathian Empire, had attended this specific class for this specific reason. The human's tactical assessments had crossed her desk 3 times. Each time, something in them had disturbed her advisors enough to warrant personal investigation. Thexerol's combat experience screamed at her that this moment mattered, though she didn't know why. Standard doctrine assumes temporary incapacitation for tactical repositioning. That's not what you asked. Marcus stood slowly. You asked how to disable it. If we're talking permanent solutions, the answer changes. Demonstrate your thinking, Cadet. His movements were measured, economical. He circled the projected Krell with the patience of someone who'd learned to hunt things that could kill him. The Krell respiratory system draws atmosphere through these ventral spiracles. He pointed to barely visible slits beneath the thorax plating. Their exoskeleton is impressive, but it's also their weakness. No flexibility means no emergency venting. If you introduce a foreign substance into their respiratory system, something that expands or hardens, they can't cough it out. Can't clear it. Even Thexerol found herself listening with an attention she reserved for genuine threats. Standard combat foam, Marcus continued. The kind in every emergency kit. Spray it directly into the spiracles. It expands in 3 seconds, hardens in 10. Their own breathing reflex pulls it deeper into their system. He met Thexerol's eyes. They suffocate in approximately 4 minutes. No way to remove it without surgical intervention they won't have time to receive. A Vrex cadet made a sound of disgust. That's not disabling. That's killing. Yes, Marcus said simply. Behind the glass, Queen Shivara's 3 hearts beat in an unfamiliar rhythm. She'd ruled for 60 years, commanded fleets that burned worlds, negotiated treaties that shaped galactic policy. She'd watched thousands of tactical demonstrations. None had ever made her feel cold. Thexerol's voice remained steady. You're describing an execution, Cadet Webb. I'm answering your question, Instructor. Marcus returned to his seat. You asked how to disable a Predator-class assault trooper. I'm alone, unarmed, cornered. If I use standard doctrine, I temporarily incapacitate it and retreat. That Krell recovers and kills the next person it encounters. If the question is how to disable it permanently, ensuring it poses no further threat to Alliance personnel or civilians, then lethal methods become valid tactical options. Marcus turned to face him, still calm, still calculating. Is it murder when a Krell predator tears through a civilian shelter, when they board a colony ship and work their way through the crew compartments, killing everyone too slow to seal the bulkheads? His voice never rose, never hardened. I read the after-action reports from the Taos Station massacre. 3 predators, 472 dead. If the security team had prioritized permanent solutions over doctrine, how many would have lived? The observation chamber's environmental controls adjusted automatically as Queen Shivara's body temperature dropped. Her advisors had warned her about this, about the human capacity for what they called practical violence. She dismissed their concerns as xenophobic anxiety. Standing here watching this unremarkable human calmly describe suffocating a sentient being to death, she understood their fear. Thexrel made a decision she'd questioned for years afterward. Class dismissed. Except you, Cadet Webb. The other cadets filed out, their whispers filling the corridor beyond. Marcus remained seated, patient, and still. When the chamber sealed, Thexrel deactivated the hologram and approached him. Do you understand why your answer is problematic? Because it violates the Alliance combat ethics protocols, specifically Section 7 regarding proportional response and the preservation of enemy combatant life when tactically feasible.